Merciless cruelty of circumstance. Doctors who were attending to me had to administer, and my insistent request, my desperate pleas, several injections of morphine and other substances that would file down the claws used to torture me by the unrelenting disease, a cruel trigeminal neuralgia. I, for my part, took more poisons than Mithridates. The point was to dampen that species of voltaic battery or coil which tormented my trigeminal with its current of sharp, painful throbbing. But never let it be said that I've exhausted suffering, that nothing can exceed this pain. There will always be further suffering, further pain, further tears to endure. Don't take my complaints and expression of bitterness here as anything other than a variation on these singularly harsh words. There is no hope for the heart of man. I said my goodbyes to the doctors. Hemiplegia, the paralysis which had been threatening me for a long time, knocked me off my horse. I did curse my fate. Cursing had exhausted itself on my lips and no longer meant anything. Cursing for me had been the equivalent of the expressions of gratitude to fate made by someone whose life is rich in gifts. Those first few black nights, fear got the better of me. Leagues of fear, despair, memories. No, the memories come second. I'm not going to cry for myself, nor for... It was a strange waking dream and a death life. My body felt heavier than lead at times. At other times I didn't feel it at all. Except for my head, which preserved its sensitivity. Several days, I think, went by in that state. That's the way it was. And the extraordinary thing was that my very arms, which initially maintained a certain independence of movement, also adopted a horizontal position. Only my head seemed to remain intact, nourished by the mud just like a plant. But since there's no respite in any condition, judging by the tingling sensation I have inside me, I think I must have an ant's nest somewhere near my heart. I'm glad, but I feel impelled to walk, and it can't be made of mud and walk. Everything has to come to me. I shall not go in search of the dawn or the sunset, of any sensation. curious thing. The body is attacked by gnawing forces of life. It is a hodgepodge in which no anatomist would distinguish anything other than mud, corridors, and neat constructions of insects installing their home. And yet the brain preserves its intelligence. I realized that my head was receiving the powerful nourishment of the earth, but directly, just like plants. The sap moved up and down instead of the blood, which nervously drives the heart. But what happens now? Things change. My head was almost happy to become like a bulb, a potato, or tuber. Now it's full of fear. Fear that one of those paleontologists who spent their lives sniffing out death will discover it. Or that those political historians, the other funeral directors who turn up after unhumation, should notice the vegetization on my head. Luckily, they didn't see me. How sad to be almost like the earth and still have hopes of moving, loving. If I want to move, I find I'm stuck, solidified with the earth. I'm diffusing. Soon I'm going to be defunct. What a strange plant my head is. Its uniqueness cannot long remain unknown. Men discover everything, even a muddy 2-cent coin. I felt that my transition to plant wasn't progressing much because I was tormented by a strong desire to smoke. Absurd ideas crossed my mind. I wanted to be a tobacco plant so that I didn't need to smoke. The imperative need to move was giving way to the need to be firm and nourished by a rich protective earth. I'm going to be a plant, but I don't feel it, because plants are aware of their ecstatic and selfish life. Their mode of amorous fulfillment and realization through telegrams of pollen cannot satisfy us like our close carnal love, but it is a matter of trying, and we'll see what their voluptuousness is like. But it is not easy to be content, and we would rub out what is written in the Book of Destiny if it hadn't already happened to us. How I've come to hate the term family tree. It reminds me too much of my tragic state of regression to a plant. I do not make issue of dignity or privileges. The state of planthood is as honorable as animalhood, but let's be logical. Why don't they represent human ascendancies with a deer's antlers? It'd be more in tune with the reality and animality of the matter. Alone, the days slowly passed over my sorrow and boredom. I estimated how long I'd been buried by the length of my beard. I noticed it was a bit swollen in its horny nature, just like nails and skin. It would fluff up like plant fibers. I consoled myself thinking that there are trees as expressive as an animal or human being. I remember seeing an oak, a rope stretching from the sky to the earth. It was a leafy tree with short branches, very tall, prettier than a decorated ship mast. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. If you take me out of the ground, as a man I'll have nothing functional left, and as a plant you'll kill me. If you want to preserve my life and not be merely a policeman, don't kill this mode of existence in which there's actually something pleasant, innocent, and desirable. Would it be sap or blood? If there's a latter, would the chlorophyll of peripheral cells give it an illusionary green appearance? I don't know, but I think that each day I'm becoming less of a man. Opposite that old cemetery, I was becoming a solitary acacia. Just as the varied and sharp sounds of door hinges will never become music, my animal frenzy, shrillness and creation, could not reconcile itself to the silent and serene activity of plants, with their subdued ease. The only thing I understood was precisely what the latter don't know, that they are elements in the landscape. Their innocence and tranquility, their possible ecstasies, are perhaps equivalent to the intuition of beauty, the scenery they all go to make up offers to man. However highly human activity, change, and movement are valued, in most cases, man moves, walks, comes and goes in a long filiform cage. He who has four very familiar walls as a horizon isn't so very different from he who travels along the same roads every day to fulfill tasks which are always the same, in much the same circumstance. All this tiring oneself is not worth the mutual tactic kiss between a plant and a sun. But all this is nothing but a sophism. Each time I die more like a man, and that death covers me in thorns and layers of chlorophyll. And now, opposite the dusty cemetery, opposite the anonymous ruin, the acacia to which I belong, burned by someone, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Neutral? I don't know, but it'll take quite some ferment to work again with matter like mine, so riddled with disappointments and defeat.